So, ladies and gentlemen, wow, this is great that all of you are collaborating with me, at least in terms of time. So, kudos to all of you for adhering to it. I personally feel that for all of us, time is a valuable asset, and that's how we are able to maintain it and be a part of AI Conclave 2025. So, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Bhavna Bhati, and I'd like to re-welcome all of you. We hope that caffeine could kick in, and hopefully that chai could be amusing enough. The weather is getting better in Mumbai. So we hope that now you're all set in gear for our next phase of the conclave. Please remember that we do have the awards in the night. So do not go anywhere as excellence continues to be celebrated. And what better way to celebrate a Saturday evening with Dr. Narendra and his team at N-Cube Collaborations. So ladies and gentlemen, on that note, let's quickly go ahead, post our tea break, to a pivotal topic. AI ethics, balancing innovation and responsibility. A very core topic which I'm sure a lot of us would like to have key insights on. So with that, first off, I'd like to call upon Chetan Mantri, the co-founder and head of strategy at Data Champs. Currently, he's somebody who's worked in various roles as a managing partner at Ruby Consulting, co-founder, of course, of DataChamps.ai and director of Nirmiti.ai.io. His expertise spans the CFO advisory, business intelligence, analytics, to name a few, of course, private equity, and also M&A. Thank you, Chetan, for joining in and being a part of our conversation. We'd now also like to invite Jawahar B. Lala, the AI business consultant and founder and director of IT consulting. Ladies and gentlemen, he's somebody who brings in more than 40 years of experience in the technology and IT sector. He's the founder and director of self-service products and IT consulting company based in Mumbai, India. He's somebody who specializes in self-service solutions, digital transformation, last mile customer touchpoints, and the deployment of self-service kiosk product terminals, having deployed over 20,000 kiosks globally. Thank you so much for joining in. And with that, as we move ahead to our next panelist who's joining us online, we have with us Rahul D. Shah, who's recognized as an AI professional with expertise in agentic robo chatbot technologies. He's, of course, AI professionals in the agentic robo and chatbot. He's somebody who's developed advanced AI-driven platforms and custom chatbot applications, empowering users to interact seamlessly with LLM systems. With that, thank you so much, Rahul. If we can present him online. Is he there? Okay, we're just going to be waiting Dr. Narendra. Once he joins, we'll put him on the screen. And on that note, also allow me an opportunity, since Rahul is going to be joining us online, but allow me an opportunity to call upon our moderator of this conversation, and of course, somebody whom we'd love to hear from individually as well. Let's call upon, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Ganesh Kumar, ex-CD of RBI. What an absolute pleasure having him on stage. He's somebody who is responsible for the payments and settlement system, external investments, foreign exchange reserves management, and strategic planning. He's somebody, of course, like he said, stop, but I'm not going to because he needs a little more on that. Ladies and gentlemen, he's somebody whom, of course, we all respect. And it's truly an honor. And I'm going to cut it short because I know all of us already know him. But him himself, being the ex-CD of RBI, I think says it all, of all his experience and expertise he brings. So let's give him a warm round of applause on that. And Mr. Kumar, of course, we'd like to leave it in your able hands. Firstly, if you can say a few words, and then thereby moderate this conversation.
You want me to come there? Yeah, yes, you can, please. Thank you very much. I have always had the honor of either addressing participants just before lunch or perhaps towards the end of the session, and maybe that's how I'm destined to have. So I'm not going to bore you all too long, but I'm certainly going to bore you all for a little bit of time. And Mr. Narendra has actually asked me to talk about AI ethics, responsibility, etc. So what I will do is, as was told, the energy level is very high. Dopamine as the, what shall I say, the kick factor in the brain which tries to make it work, I think is fairly high. So let me talk about what is the role of ethics, and like I was told, having been a regulator most of my life, I said most of my life because I've also been on the other side. One of the things that always a regulator worries is the worst case scenario. You would always, I don't think there is anybody here who has a nice word for any regulator, whether it is RBI, whether it is SEBI, or whether it is, most importantly, our telephone related TRAI. We all have only stones to throw at the regulator. And I have no qualms in accepting it because that is something which the regulator is expected to do. Where does ethics come in there? So I'm not going to give a session on what you should do, how it should be done, etc. Thought I will talk about something which is easy for us to understand, and this is just a case study. Just around 2 months ago, and all of you are aware as to what all is happening the world over, thanks to the antics of one person. I know, I'm sure you will know who it is. So one of the things, I do work with RBI also, although it says X, I do work with RBI, with SEBI, etc., in different roles. So one of the things we tried to do was, how is the impact of this man's action going to be on India as far as the foreign exchange rates are concerned? All of us can guess, but we thought, let's try to use AI to make predictions. And what I said was, let's do one thing. Instead of making a general assessment based on an AI, this thing, let's try to give the question with certain slight difference nuances to do different AI products, and let's see what's the outcome. What do you think would have been the outcome? I don't want mine to be just a boring one-way session. So maybe some of you can try to talk, if you can venture to talk. What would have been the prediction? How would the foreign exchange rates go thanks to whatever is being happening because of one man's actions? What do you think could have happened? What the AI tool would have told? The question was, what will it happen or what will be the rates moving in the near term, which is around 3 to 6 months? Any guesses? Our India-US dollar rate is around 87, 88. What do you think the AI tool would have said it will be, let's say, in January of 26? Make a guess. It will stabilize at around 88. It won't go further. It won't go further. Okay. Any other point? 100. Okay. Good. The argument is becoming very interesting now. 88, 100.
It will go to 89.5 or so.
Okay. Here is a statistical professor. 89.56. Very good. Is the sell rate or the buy rate anyway? Any other person who is welcome to give his or her point? Nothing? So 88, 100 and 89? You know what happened? One of the first AI tool said, and trust me what it said going by what is happening in the US and what is happening in the other countries, it made a prediction saying this is what India will be. And in fact, it said that, on one extreme, it said that India's rupee will actually depreciate very much, and it was not even 100, it said it will go up to 150. Okay, I was curious, and in fact, I knew that company which had developed that AI tool, so I was actually very, very initiative to talk to that person and say, what is this particular logic that you have used in it? But then I refrained because we were working from a regulator side. So this was one. So it said it will go to 150. Same scenario with just one or two small tweaks given to another AI engine. And you know what it said? Any guess again? Same, 8800? Or would you like to change now that I've biased you and saying it went to 150? It'll appreciate? Okay, in fact, it brought in a lot of factors. You see, typically most of these AI tools give a logic as to why they have arrived at that, and the factors based on it, it said that, it didn't say it will appreciate, but it said given that most of the countries' currencies are going to depreciate, India's will not depreciate, and more or less nearer to what Professor Gopal said, it will be more or less around 88 to 89, even in January. Okay, now I am not here trying to say what was the algo that they used, or what were the codes that they have done, how did they did the matching, or what were the generative tools they did. Point was, what was the ethics behind it? Now, how many of you like astrology? And if you, most of the Indian astrologers, there are very good astrologers. In fact, my personal view is astrology is actually a very good science. Fortunately or unfortunately, the Europeans, the Britishers, they made it as if it's not something which is scientifically based, and a feeling or a set of motions have been created saying that Indian astrology is not to be believed. You don't need to believe it, but there is a lot of impact on astrology. So the point is, if we were to make a prediction on something astrologically, the question will be asked, let us know on what basis you are doing it. But that's not the point. The point I'm saying is, most of the Indian astrologers are what I call as good word astrologers. If something negative is going to happen, they will not say the negative thing. They will give a couched thing as if it will be negative, but they won't say something is going to happen. If, for example, they say the head of the country, the prime minister or the president, is not going to be living any longer, they won't say that the president will pass away or the prime minister will pass away. They'll put it in a different manner, saying that there could be a change in the succession plan, there can be a new ruler of the country. That's how they'll put it. We are all couched to say astrological predictions in a positive manner. Now, obviously, if I go to an astrologer and say, tell me what my lifespan is, and if he knows that I'm going to conk off next week, he's not going to tell me that I'm going to conk off, he won't get his money. So he will put it in another way, saying that you need to take care when you go outside, you need to have an escort whenever you go out, or he will say, take care of it if you're traveling, but he will say that you should not travel on road or on water or on air, something like what Prahlad or Hiranyakashipu did. So point is, AI needs also to follow an ethics. Does it need to be couched in something good, or does it not need to be couched in something good that way? One side we had 150, on the other side it was status quo. Finally what happened was, and this is what all of us know, at the RBI they have what is called the Monetary Policy Committee. You must have seen it. In fact, today everybody in the country is an economic expert when the Monetary Policy Committee comes. They are all budgetary experts when the budget comes. They are all train experts when an accident happens. We are all tuned that way. So the Monetary Policy Committee actually met. This was, as I said, a couple of months ago. This was presented to them. They just took a look at it. And these are people who understand AI, who are professors, who are economists, who are practicing bankers. They simply looked at it and finally they said, yeah, I know, time is also ticking away. So my AI prediction is, will it stop or not? So at the end of it, they simply said, okay, this is fine, we'll just keep it aside. They went ahead and they decided what it is, and you know what was produced in the monetary policy last time. So where is ethics there? I'll just conclude by saying, we need to have ethics always. Each person has his own ethics, but overall there is an ethics as far as India is concerned. More important is, do we need to be regulated? My personal view in this is, we all need to be self-regulators. If we are all self-regulators, we don't need RBI, we don't need the traffic policeman, we don't need somebody who will stand with a stick behind. Why are we not having it? Because right from childhood, we are all regulated by our parents. School, we are regulated by our teachers. Office, we are regulated by our bosses. If we can be our own regulator, our own boss, that is what will be better. And that's what regulators in India are moving over. All the regulated entities, they are saying, go in for self-regulation. And that's why you will see the latest group on, expert group on AI has said, we don't need any new laws. Why we don't need any new laws? Existing laws are good enough. Self-regulation is going to happen. And that is what is going to take at least AI in India forward. Okay, I'll stop with this. But before I conclude, I've been told by Mr. Narendra that I'll have to moderate. So I'm going to moderate in a slightly different way. It tells me that I've got 15 minutes. Thankfully, one speaker is not there, so I will allow both Chetan and Jawaharlal to actually have a lot more to talk. Who wants to go first? But before they go first, it was actually when we were just talking outside, Jawar was actually trying to say his journey. He's already said 40 years of experience, great experience right from IBM mainframe times. And I could relate it because I had also done, he was a hardware man who was actually making the screws, nuts and bolts on the mainframe. I was somebody who was making software on the mainframe, and half the time we used to find that if the heat in the mainframe increases, the outcome also reduces. And we had originally water-cooled machines, air-cooled machines. Today, if you look at it, we have no cool machines, and the coolness is on the person who's doing it. So from mainframes to artificial intelligence, that the journey that Jawahar has got. Chetan on my immediate left, an innovator, lot of activities that he has done. Now, I don't want to take the thunder away from him. He will talk about some of the initiatives that he has done. In fact, he was telling me, I wish I had a product here, a banking product, and if I can demonstrate that, here is a good audience, and maybe he could take some money out. I'm sorry, I just gave some of your tips outside. So these are the two people who are going to talk. We will certainly have a question and answer later on. But before I talk, or before they talk, just one small bit. Listen to them. They are not going to take too long. Each one is going to talk about ethics and in a slightly different perspective. I spoke about it from a monetary policy perspective because I thought that will help all of you. Chetan is now going to talk about it, how ethics and regulation comes in when he's developing something on his own. So Chetan will do that. I won't break in after that. After he finishes, Jawaharlal will take over and he will talk about it from 4 different aspects. Now, what are the 4? I will leave for him to talk. I'm not going to leave that thread out right now. Thanks for the patient hearing. Over to you, Chetan.
Thank you so much. So, in front of a regulator, but I'll have to, make an honest submission. Regulator always chases the technology. So, tech is first. So, we can't expect the regulator to lay a framework for an innovation. It is always the other way around. All the stakeholders, if I am a product owner, I'm creating something, there's an AI engineer who's writing a code, or there is a user. All of them are equally responsible to regulate what we are creating. And the whole word ethics comes in because we all know only regulation will not stop it. That is why ethics is there. That is why the onus on every one of us to be equally responsible is there. And when it comes to developing a product, it is very simple steps of ethics which we have to follow. In our case, we follow very 2 principles. One is transparency. If AI is actually giving you decisions or it is giving you information which you have to act upon, it is the user's right to understand what logic it has deciphered, how it has interpreted the data models to come up to the conclusion on which you are going to take your decision. And which means every time you ask a question, you need to have the list of logic available on a click from that model to see how it has calculated that. And that's what we inculcate in all the products. So whatever outcome you will see from an AI product that is coming from our kitty, you will have a complete access to seeing how it is working. And second is, we have heard this since morning for a long time, human in loop. You cannot remove human intelligence because we are not creating another master. AI for all purposes is assistive intelligence, then artificial intelligence, and that is how it should stay, at least for a foreseeable future. And human in loop means every decision. So we create credit control models in AI. If the credit control model itself is deciding to change the credit limits in the SAP, the entire intervention is out. So it only assists with where the credit control needs to be changed, and the decision resides with the respective person. And in all the AI implementations we've seen, human in loop is the best way forward. These are the 2 areas which we always inculcate in terms of having reasonable governance on the any AI utility. So yeah, I think.
Good. Very good perspectives.
Good evening.
Good evening.
There's no voice. Good evening.
Good evening.
So first of all, I would like to thank Narendra ji for inviting me here, and this has been one of the best event I've seen in terms of time management. So I think they deserve an applause. So that is the first thing I want to do. Second thing, I have been with AI journey for last 5 years. I'm consulting a lot of global clients, Indian clients, and AI has got 2 stories, the better story and the sad story. So I'm not here to talk about sad or better. First of all, I would like to tell, I had a lot of sessions on AI. What is AI? AI to me is a technology enabler. It is not a disruptor, it is an enabler. And for me, whatever you feed in AI will only come back to you. So, people say chatbots, this. So, I have personally been interacting with a lot of chatbots. But unfortunately, your answers sometimes are not answered because that they are not fed in the chatbots. Coming back to today's topic, ethics. I think, I've been talking to Government of India for a very large initiatives. We are behind in AI for certain time, but I think India will be a very strong AI third player after US in China in next 5 years. That is my estimation. The second thing is India needs a strong governance because there are a lot of frauds happening. There are a lot of deep fakes videos happening. There are a lot of IP issues coming, like some of the actors have gone to the High Court and said that their images are being morphed. Now, this is the sad side of the AI. So what I'm talking about is strong governance. And when an AI company wants to develop an AI, they should be passionate, they should be transparent, and they should be accountable. They can't have a copyright issues coming in. Copyright is a major way of handling AI. And Government of India today thoughts that IT rules will applicable to AI. So I'm telling them that you have to put more things in place. So coming back, governance, accountability and transparency are the three basic ethics one should follow in AI, sir. This is my opinion.
Fantastic. That was actually... Yeah, that was actually very short and sweet from both my speakers. Is Rahul there? Join here? He's not joining? Okay, well, we couldn't use a predictive model to say whether the speaker or the panelist will join or not. Maybe there is some other tool to be generated. Fine, we've got some more time. Any quick question from your side? One is the regulator actually forces innovation on people, and in fact, I recall that when UPI was implemented, in fact, one of the teams, today if UPI is working bad, you can blame me partly for that. If it's working good, then blame or give the credit to the entire team.
Yeah, who is that?
Yeah, so...
Please, please.
Yeah, I was just doing a filler because I thought somebody can talk. Please, go ahead.
So thank you for wonderful insight, all the speakers. So I was just listening to one of the promoter who is into AI, machine learning, and we were just talking about some investment ideas. So while discussing, he mentioned that AI, craze or AI will last another 3-4 years, then something else will come. So just what is your thought? What do you see, how much this AI will go on some other technology, when it will beat the AI? Or how do you see something else is emerging?
Yeah, I'll take this. Yeah, I'll take this up. So the amount of investments that are already committed in AI, it will be a big loss to the world if it is lasting only 3 years. So now it's actually the reverse pressure to ensure AI works than the other way around. Of course, we've seen terms have changed. We've seen a lot of internet thing, then we've seen digital transformation, and then artificial intelligence. But it is not just a change of nomenclature in case of artificial intelligence. It is absolutely there to stay. In fact, from LLMs, we are going to see SLMs. We are also going to see a lot of vertical AI. Vertical AI meaning domain-specific experts building AI for that particular use case. So we really foresee it will become such an important part of regular business or practical life that it is hard to believe it will not last beyond 3-4 years. That's my take.
A quick 1 minute.
I think disruption has been there in the industry right from the mainframes. So if you see, some of the other technology has been coming. But I think in AI, India is still have to develop its own infrastructure, large foundation models, which will take time. It will take time. But today I am requesting everybody that AI works on data. And I've been telling in a lot of my seminars in last 5 years, data is the oil of today. And today when you put any Your data on a Facebook or a Twitter, it all go to US companies. So India should have its own large foundation models where data can be stored. And today, most of the important factor, today data is in silos. It's not together. Now that's a biggest challenge companies is facing, government organizations are facing, and even the banks are facing, the fintech is facing. So there, I think once it is in place, AI will play a major role. And I don't see any technology coming to disrupt AI in next 5 years, that is sure. And one more thing, I would like to thank Narendra ji, because when I started my career, it was centralized computing, the mainframe. Today, AI has come back after 40 years to centralized computing. So this is, I want to thank him for reminding me my journey. Thank you, sir.
No, one
Okay.
point, sir. One
Yes,
question of
please.
mine
Yeah.
is, whenever we know that, as you rightly is trust, responsibility, fairness, and transferability is the foundation
That's right.
of any innovation, particularly now AI. Then, in spite of all that, what would motivate anybody to not to follow AI in ethics?
You want me
Or,
to-
yeah, anybody.
बताओ sir, आप बताओ.
Okay, certainly very valid questions from Mr. Narendra. What will motivate anything? At the end of it, in fact, even when I was a banker and the RBI, the question is, why is everybody into the finance industry or the finance business? Everybody wants the 1 rupee or the 10 rupee that I have in my pocket. Somebody who pickpockets it is doing it an unethical way. Somebody who runs a business takes it in an ethical way by giving a product or a service to you in return. That's where ethics comes in, and that's where. So if AI is going to help me in getting, like he said, the sad side or the good side, getting the money in a right way, which is where you will find the chatbots or the other AI-based assisted tools. In fact, the next generation of AI is not dead, and AI will not die. But I'll tell you where AI will change. What will happen is 3 years down the line, something new will come which will be more exciting, more sexy, more attractive, and therefore that interest will go on there. But AI will continue to be there. It won't make headlines. But what will happen is, and this is where India is going to grow, what he said, my pet theory is that AI may come down, but CS will improve. Any guess as to what is CS? CS is just common sense. Okay, and in India, I'm sorry, the average age here is fairly high. I know there are some young people. How many of us feel frustrated at the Gen Z in not understanding something? They can do anything, but they don't know the logic of it. If you go to banking, nobody knows why a debit or a credit is done, but they know how to do a debit or a credit. If you go to medical, they know what to prescribe, but they don't know. They know the symptoms, but they don't know the root cause. What's going to happen is, common sense is going to revive. And if common sense has to revive, it will use AI. In other words, AI-based decision-making using common sense is going to increase. That requires the human intelligence. Indians are very good in human intelligence compared to any other race in the world. And therefore, at least as India, we have a huge, bright future. AI will not die. Coming back to the last point about Mr. Narendra's, what is the interest? Now, I gave you the point. If common sense is going to be this layer above AI and we are going to do it, ultimately, why do I do something? Either it is necessary for me for my life, for my food, clothing, center, basic requirements, which everybody does, or for me to live, for which I need money or finance. And if AI is going to help me, I will do it. But if I don't want to get caught on it, I will do ethically, which is what ethics, transparency, fairness comes in. I think Jawahar wants to make a point. Chetan, last point, and then we close.
I just want to tell one point here. Why are there frauds happening? Because somehow down the line, I feel Indian people want everything free. So when they see anything free come in, they click the link. And that is a fraudster link. Understand this. There are two major problems. Need and free. Want. If you control that, India will be the best AI country, I can tell you. Today, 90% of frauds are happening because they want something free.
Yes, Chetan.
Yes. Chetan's last word.
Yeah, I'll just give a reference of a product which we created. It's an anti-money laundering and fraud detection product. It is an unsupervised AI native product which actually can even identify rented accounts which are being used for frauds. Now imagine that AI model knows everything about fraud And because it is unsupervised, it can also decipher what potential frauds can someone think of. If such a tool is in the hands of people with other intent, it is very difficult to stop AI, and that's from committing frauds. And that is where we might very soon see AI regulating AI. Regulators might use AI to regulate AI itself, and that is what I think would be the next step. And in terms of the last word, I think why human in loop? We've got it from, because it's a Saturday, let me give you a movie reference. Everyone has seen Welcome. RDX comes and gives 2 guns to Majnu Bhai and Uday Bhai. And he says, these guns fire only if you want them to fire. And that is the human control which always should remain on the AI or any intelligent equipment, whether it's a software or a hardware.
Okay, good. So on that good note, happy note, thank you very much for listening. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, firstly, a big thank you to all our panelists for joining in. May we request our panel to please step forward, if you can, ahead of the table so that we can get a better frame of all of you together at the AI Conclave 2025. We're at the day 2, ladies and gentlemen. It couldn't get bigger and better when you have the best under one roof. So let's continue with our applause for them in encouraging their talent and, of course, their expertise in the conversation. Mr. Reddy, if we can request you from Bullforce to please join us as well. We know you were there yesterday on the main stage, and we just request you to join us to give away the token of appreciation.
See, in your that trading also, yesterday also you said that ethics and balancing. He is in the trading Bullforce.
Bullforce powered by
सबको भी मिलना, हाँ? Come, friend.
So with that, we just request our entire panel to please just pose in for a group photograph. These are the moments we'd like to capture and, of course, go back when the edition continues next year. So let that applause continue, ladies and gentlemen. AI Conclave 2025 right here in Mumbai. Lead, learn and celebrate.